Hey, Raylene.
Hello, Elisa.
How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you?
Good. I can't remember. Have we had a session since that we had my Norway trip?
We did.
We
We've
did. Yeah,
actually
that's
had,
right. That's right. I remember now. You
we
wait, wait,
did. How are you
wait
doing
to.
since your
Uh,
little trip?
I'm fine, fine. We're going to go on an RV trip. Rennie announced he wants to go to take Arlene to Colorado. So,
Oh, it'll be fun. You've got to come and visit me.
oh yes,
Yes,
we're going to
because
stay
this is where
at
I'm at.
Tiger Run, and I'll let you know that Tiger Run RV. That would be so much fun. Okay.
It will be fun.
Hi, Erik. I love you again. Always, I love you.
Hello, Mama. I love you very much. He's saying hello to all the blog members as well. He's very energetic today. He's moving around a lot. He looks really long, really lengthy.
Yeah, he
I don't
has.
know if it's 'cause he's moving so much.
Yeah. Long and lanky. That's like Lucas. And Lucas suffers from a really bad thoracic spine pain yesterday. I don't know what he did, but, that's a long torso thing. All right. So we're going to ask a bunch of questions about Mars and the moon. And then apparently it's Mercury retrograde. So then that means I'm going to have to post this YouTube pretty early. But anyway, so okay, first we'll talk about some of the things that blog members asked. And it's going to be mixed up between Mars and Moon, etc. So let's see. One person says, has war between other alien races affected Mars' atmosphere, or is it the current atmosphere because of natural causes? Good questions. I haven't read any of these because I hadn't had time, but
He says the current atmosphere and natural causes.
okay. Why? What caused it? Did it have an atmosphere before? It just burned away?
No, it did have an atmosphere before. And he's saying that through the temperature change, temperature I don't think would be the right word, but he's using temperature as for us to kind of understand it. But it's changed temperature-wise, and that's what caused the change on the planet.
What happened to the temperature? Did it go up, down,
Up.
up? Why? They're not
Other
recycling over
planets?
there. They're using too many
No.
fuels in Mars.
He
That's what.
says he says other planets have influenced the temperature change in the atmosphere in our solar system. He says Earth has influenced it and other planets around Earth. Change. He says it's all about change taking place.
Are those planets also affecting our planet?
They do.
To
He
that
says
same
global,
degree?
not as intense, but to a certain degree, yes. On a scale of 1 to 10, probably about a 4 is how it would affect us. He says our planet is warming up as well. He's talking about global warming,
Right.
and how these small changes are affecting other planets as well.
Wow. And how are the other planets are making our temperature rise also?
Yes, not all planets, but planets
Some.
that are close to Earth, yes.
Does that fluctuate? Like we had the ice age, and then we warmed up. Ice age warmed up. Do these planetary influences also fluctuate like that?
He says that there's like a weather pattern that the solar system goes through. You know how we have winter, summer, fall? He says it's not predictable the way that Earth is, but there's a certain type of weather. What are those things? Eric, stop messing with my phone.
Uh-oh. He does that.
Messing with Siri.
He did that to Shruti. Made Siri work on him. The nearest sex therapy clinic is. It's funny.
He's laughing over here.
Oh.
He's off track. Meteors, thank you. Meteors. They're a form of a shower out in our solar system, and so he says they're unpredictable. It's not like how we can predict summer, fall, and winter. They have solar flares, solar energies with temperature change. However, it's not predictable the way that we can predict our temperatures here on Earth.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So listen, before y'all forget, can y'all please click subscribe on my channel. And also, if you kind of like it, click like. And you can unlike it if you want at the end. I don't care. All right, so this guy or girl mainly wants to know about, has there been any major catastrophe on Mars?
Yes. He's talking about the damage to the planet itself. Um, it was much more sturdier. He talks about there also being what we would consider war, but not something that has damaged the planet from
So there
other
was,
races.
it was a staging area for alien war. Is that what you're saying? But no
Yeah,
damage.
other species, but it didn't bring a lot of damage to the planet. What's brought the damage to the planet is the rise in the temperature. There is no like species life that can be lived on the planet right now, in terms of like Palladians or another race. There's not life that can be there, not even to fight.
Well, who was fighting in that war, and how long ago was it?
He shows us being about 200 years. And what I'm looking at, I don't know the name for them, but I'm looking at almost like a black color and a gray color. So there's two different species. One is very tall, one is, I'd say, short, about 5 foot. I consider that short.
Wow. And so that was like when we had America. I mean, wow. Didn't we know? Did anybody notice? Any of the not astrologers, but the astronomers and stuff?
Astronomist, yes. He says government knew about other races being out there, but didn't know of the extent of the disagreeing that was going on with other races. They knew a little bit of information, but not to the extent of what it is or what it was.
What was the war over?
Wanting the planet. There's races out there that want to take over lots of planets, not just one, and it's so they can repopulate.
Yeah.
There's races that want to outdo other populations, other races, even humans. So he says it's the negativity of the race, the structure of how they are.
Okay, who won?
He says that neither one, it was more of a walk away from it.
Okay, like North Korea, South Korea, stalemate.
There you go.
And like the War of 1812, I think it was. All right, so what did they want in Mars? I mean, it didn't have an atmosphere. Were there precious resources? I mean, why did they want it?
He's showing material, something that would gas a vehicle here, would gas their spaceship, their vehicle. It doesn't look like, you know how we assume flying saucers are circle? What I'm looking at is almost like a rectangle shape, triangle, and also something that can be formed into like a diamond, but not the circle type of spaceships that we have reported here on Earth. They're different.
Was it something like plutonium, uranium? I mean, something that is like a nuclear type.
It's not here on this planet.
Oh, wow.
If you want to compare it to something like that, he said yes, but it's not a material that Earth has.
Ooh, cool. Okay, so are there any artifacts that these two races left behind? Or did they clean up after their mess?
He's laughing at you. He says, I wouldn't exactly say they cleaned up after their mess, but with the temperature of the planet has cleaned up the mess.
Oh, okay. Was it ever hit by an asteroid? A big asteroid?
Yes.
And what effect did that do to Mars?
He's being a smartass, and he said, well, of course it rose the temperature of it. He says that it also did damage. He's talking about taking pieces of it that have fallen. It's not split up, but what I'm looking at are like cracks. So say you're looking at a ball that's solid, right? And you drop the solid ball. The solid ball now has cracks in it.
Oh, okay.
Or like an egg. Thank you. You know how when you
Okay.
drop an egg, the egg cracks? That type of damage.
Oh, okay. So Is there any, I mean, I think they found like evidence of ice or something. I'm not sure, but is there, they think there may be some water in Mars. Is that on Mars? Is that true?
Yes. It's a different form of water, but very close to water.
Like heavy water or?
Yes. It's liquid, but it's not, you know how our water is very liquidy?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm looking at would be more of, in a nursing home, how old people have to have their water thickened.
Oh,
Thickener,
okay.
almost
Yeah.
like a little bit of a thickener would be added to it.
Oh,
You're
wow.
laughing at me. So something like that, but not extremely thick, still liquid form.
All right. So where is that? On the surface, or there underground,
Under.
under the surface lakes, or?
He's not using the word lakes. It's underground, undersurface, almost like in the middle of the planet. I would have to go with into it.
Inside, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is it useful
Um,
can you live on that kind of water?
Humans, no.
Wow. So
Other races, yes.
oh, wow. Okay, we plan to go there on a manned mission. I can't remember when, but what will we find on Mars?
Dust. He's
But will
smiling.
we find artifacts, alien
Uh,
artifacts from the war, from the battle they had?
no. He says they will find proof of other life being there, but they won't find life existing at the moment. He's using the word, it's not artifacts, it's like fossils,
Okay. Oh, okay.
um, of things that are left that you have to dig.
What kind of art life forms used to be on Mars?
He starts with plants, what we would consider a plant form. Um, little, oh, I'm having a hard time with explaining this. I was not good in science. I didn't pay much attention in that area. But you know, when
Oh,
you
you
look
can't be
underneath
good
the
at
microscope,
everything. Go ahead.
when you look underneath the microscope, how if it's alive, you can see like the little life forms moving,
Right?
or little squigglies. That's what it looks like that he's putting into my
Like
mind.
little unicellular or
Yes,
protozoan. Okay, but no
bingo.
bigger, no, nothing but plants and microscopic life forms.
Yes.
What kind of
Um,
plants? Any plants that you would see here on Earth? I mean, and are the microorganisms similar to those we are? Some of them identical to what we have on Earth.
yes, identical. What I'm looking at are more colorful. You know, we have like green plants, right? The type of green that I'm looking at would be like a bright, bright green, or fluorescent.
Oh, okay.
I'm also looking at like purple. I don't see, we have roses. I don't see like that type of flower. I'm looking at what looks like almost like cactuses or thick aloe vera plants. It,
Mm.
it resembles that type of look.
How long
Um,
ago did life disappear from Mars?
Hundreds of years ago.
Hundreds?
That type of life.
Are you kidding me? It sounds like it would be tens of thousands or millions of years. How many hundreds? 300,000 hundreds? No, I'm kidding.
Yes. He
No,
says
really.
yes.
But is
No.
it tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, hundreds, millions?
He says hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of
Um,
thousands. Okay.
uh,
Okay. Is there any connection between ancient Egypt and Mars? Seemed like Erik, you talked about that before.
he says that they were connecting to energy that was Egyptian people were connecting to the energy of Mars. He's talking about advice coming from the planet, connecting with the planet directly. Not in the sense of people going there. Egyptian people going there are people coming from Mars to the Earth, not in that sense, because it wasn't holding that type of life form. But Egyptian people have always looked towards Mars as the planet of answers
Oh,
or
wow.
guidance.
Interesting.
He says spiritual reasons, like religion.
Okay. I don't know if I'm hearing a bunch of EVPs throughout this session or if it's just feedback. We'll listen to it later. But I seem to remember the word Anunnaki mentioned when we had a session about Mars in ancient Egypt. Is is that involved, or did Anunnaki or the Anunnakis? I can't remember what they are, like aliens or whatever. Did they visit
it's a
Mars?
race.
Oh, okay.
Yes. He
Okay.
says that it's a race. I can't pronounce it either. It's a lot like what you said, but a little different. It's a race.
Anunnaki, not Anunnaki, but Anunnaki. I'm kidding.
He's laughing at you.
Somebody has to. All right. Okay. Oh, how do spirits see Mars or other planets if they visit? Is everything just energy from their energetic view, or do they see it in physical form like we humans do?
No. Um, if you're ever in an airplane, so the image I got, being very high up, looking down, when you're starting to land, how everything gets small and then it gets larger the closer you get.
Yeah.
It's almost like or little oh no, my connection's going out.
I
Are
know.
you there?
It's okay. It comes and
Okay,
goes.
there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, it's almost like that. He says, so the closer you are to it, the bigger it amplifies. It's not seen as a circle shape the way that we're seeing other planets from Earth. It's seen more as landing, coming in from a
Okay.
landing.
All right. So, is it true that is the moon really moving an inch and a half away from the Earth every year, like some scientists say? And if so, what does that mean for our planet in the far future?
Not an inch and a half, but it is moving. He's going with about an inch every year. And he says Earth is also moving with it, but not at the speed that it is. He says that the light that the Earth carries will soon be darker. It's not going to be as light as it is because of what the moon is doing. It's going to impact our climate change. That's going to be the impact that it has on the Earth, because the moon provides the Earth with some form of light and also energy.
Isn't it just reflected light from the sun?
Yes.
Okay, so that's pretty much at night. Well, I guess you can see the moon sometimes in the daytime. Okay, so
Rarely.
now is that the permanent trajectory of us moving apart from Earth and Moon, or is it cyclical? Like it comes closer and gets farther away over maybe eons. I don't know, but is that a cyclical thing? I feel like it is.
He says yes. He's talking scientific over here, and I don't get his language.
Hey, dumb it down for both of us.
Please do.
Seriously.
He says he's working, he's trying to dumb it down.
Okay.
He talks about the gravitation, how Earth is also moving at a small distance. And so gravity, it's like coming together. It's not falling apart. It's almost like we're all moving.
Okay.
Connected.
Yeah. All right. So, given that both Moon and Mars have a consciousness, you can, of course, answer that too. What would they each like to share with humans on Earth, and what would they say to Mother Earth? Let's start with the Moon. Come on, give us your message.
The Moon is very motherly, nurturing energy. The Moon would want to say to take care of our planet, the water on our Earth, our oceans, pollution. It's a big concern. The Moon does need our Earth to sustain life in order for the Moon to be at its full best. With this energy, it's not like talking like you and I. It's more of what I'm looking at is almost like a cloud. I see no color to it. It's not even like white. It's got like a clarish cloud through it. It's just an energy. Messages the planet, our water, maintaining the health, taking care of our water. If our water is damaged, our earth is going to be damaged and won't be able to sustain life. Human
Okay.
life and animal life. The animal life is what the concern is.
What about a message to Mother Earth?
She's telling, I refer to the moon as a she, it's very motherly, to hang on and to be strong. The earth, Mother Earth, the energy of Mother Earth is really lowered right now, low vibration because of the damage from the pollution, chemicals that's taking place. And so she's really giving her support to the earth.
Good. Well, we all need to send white light to Mother Earth. Okay, what about Mars? What does Mars want to say to humans and to Mother Earth?
Mars is very distant. The energy that's here is almost aggressive to an extent. When I say aggressive, there's like a straightforward, straight to the point. A little bit of anger that's also associated with Mars. Message that's coming through is he's talking about, this is a very masculine energy, but maintaining our energetic levels, not the earth, us as humans, trying to raise the vibration of us being happy, being civil, being
Okay.
almost like loving with one another to help him, to help that planet. Earth is affected largely by Mars. Mars is affected largely by Earth. It's like a something that we're sharing together. We're feeding off of energy, not like a merge, but we're sharing energy.
Okay, like a synchronicity.
Yeah.
All right. What would Mars say to Mother Earth?
He's saying that it's almost over, the pain that she's struggling through. And that's why Mars carries a lot of anger with him, because of the pain that Earth is struggling with or is experiencing with.
Maybe we should. I wonder if we can eventually in the future channel the sun. I don't think we've done that yet. That'd be cool. Would that be worth a session, Erik?
He says yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we won't do that now, though. Let's see. Are there any? Are there any? Is there any life on the moon? Any even microorganisms, etc.?
Yes.
Really, what kind?
He's showing quite a bit of life on the moon, from microorganisms to plant-looking things, not plants that require, they sustain life, but not like ours.
Oh,
It doesn't require the type of water or sunlight that ours do. It's more of almost like darkness that it requires. I see also other species, life on there. I don't see it's like permanent. I see it being more like a visitation.
okay. To the moon on holiday. They had their honeymoons on the moon. Alien
I know it
honeymoon.
sounds funny, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like where you would stop to get gas, or even though it's not like a gas,
Like a
but
rest stop, like a truck stop,
yeah,
rest stop. Okay.
exactly, from like place to place. He's also showing that they stop there and visit things that are going on with Earth and other planets. This could be more of a base setup. Thank you, for
But
other
you're
races.
talking about alien races, right?
Yeah.
All right. Are there any
Yes.
alien bases on the moon? And
Yes.
so are they on the dark side or the light side? Probably on the dark side to hide, but I don't know.
The side you must not see. Uh,
Yeah.
showing the dark side, and he
What
says
up? Okay.
there's not only one, but there's several races. I'm looking at little grays. I'd say about 3 feet. I'm also looking at little blues. I'm looking at tall whites. There's quite a bit of tall whites, actually. Some of them are positive, some of them are negative. It's more of like a study place, not a living place for families, homes.
So kind of like their space station.
There you go.
All right. Have they ever had a war, alien species on the moon?
No, he says there's civil. They're civil with each other, with sharing the space.
Okay. Why doesn't it rotate like other things? Well, why doesn't it the moon rotate in a circle?
He's showing it rotating at a different speed and a different angle. The rotation is not the rotation that the Earth is doing. It's a different rotation that's not noticeable by Earth, but it is doing a rotation. It's not like a whole. What would that be? 360.
Yeah, right.
Rotation? This is going to be like a
Below, just wobbles a little bit.
yeah.
Okay. Is it hollow? And is Mars hollow?
Yes, Mars is going to be more hollow than the moon. But no hollow though. The moon has got resources. He says resources for other races and resources for humans. He's talking about what's the right word for that? Studying that has taken place from Earth. Huge government astronomers. What is that? I can't get that word out. But there's studying that's been done from humans that have been put onto the moon. Information that they've gotten, and so he says that it's a place where all races can go. Humans couldn't live there. He says that with certain equipment, it could be livable for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, of course. That'd take a lot. What kind of valuable resources are on the moon?
I'm looking at materials that would start fire, almost like weapons.
Like a flint or something?
Yeah, and then also something that can be used to create weapons like dynamite. It's used to make some form of weapons that use as humans, things that have not been created, but also weapons that other races have created and use. When I see the fire is more of like ignition, something to start something.
Oh, okay. So are these things that we cannot find on Earth? Because, it seems like, well, I will ask you this first. I thought I remember learning in school that the origin of the moon was that it just came out of the ring of fire. I don't know how. Maybe we got knocked by an asteroid and boom, a chunk of rock went out into orbit and that became the moon.
The Big Bang Theory.
It got shaped by little asteroids and stuff. So is that true?
No, he says it's not shaped by little asteroids.
Well, did it come out of from the Earth itself?
No, not connected to the Earth either. He's showing it being made up of other asteroids, not the right word, but I have to say another planet that almost separated.
Okay, so it came from another planet.
Yes.
That's the origin. Okay, so the minerals, the resources, they're things that we do not have on Earth.
They're not on Earth. It's not something that's found.
Are there any minerals that are found on Earth, like uranium, plutonium? I don't know why I bring up those two all the time, but
yes.
But there are also some that are not from Earth, seen on Earth.
Most of them are not going to be found here on Earth. Maybe 2% of them will be found on Earth, but a little bit of a difference. He's using your plutonium that you're going to find there, but not the first one.
Plutonium, uranium. Which one?
Plutonium. Plutonium.
There is plutonium or not plutonium?
No, there is.
Okay, but not uranium. Okay. How hollow are both of these things, Mars and Moon? I mean, just a little hollow space. Like, is it like a third of the diameter, or in each Mars and the Moon? And is there anything cool inside those hollow spaces?
I'm looking at Mars first, and when I look at that, the middle of it is not going to be as hollow as the outer surrounding of it. He's showing about a third of Mars being hollow, and about 1.5. No, with the moon, I see hollowness all the way around it, but when I get to the center of it, the center's got like some form of fluid or liquid. So
What kind of fluid?
it's not water. It looks like liquid based. It's not something that we have here on Earth.
Is it useful?
Yes, to other people, to other races, it is not something that we can consume as a human. It would harm our physical body.
Well, of what use would it be to other alien species? Fuel, something to consume?
No, he shows fuel, but using it more of, I guess you would say like cleaner, but it's something that would clean something, also starting something.
Okay. So, but I thought, Erik, you said Mars was more hollow. I probably misunderstood. So the
No,
moon's more hollow, or
no, Mars is more hollow.
Mars? Okay. So is the hollowness in the moon with that little liquid inside? Is it like what, a quarter of the diameter, or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Not even a full quarter, a little bit less than that.
Okay. Will we ever live on the Earth? I mean, on the moon or on Mars?
No. He says it's not something that can be done long term. Mars is definitely no. The moon has already sustained life, not life that has been lived on there long, but it has sustained life, human life.
Okay.
Yes, it can be. It will take a lot. Will it happen in our future? No.
Okay. All right. What's on the dark? What somebody wants to know? What else is on the dark side of the moon? Like, are there giant glass domes located on? I mean, just what's going on there on the dark side?
I'm looking at markers, like almost like a pyramid. Here, I'll show you this. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Right.
See the pyramid there? It's like there's when you're landing in an airplane, they have those things that show you where to land with the lights.
Yeah.
This
Right.
is going to be almost like a thing to show them this is where you're going to land. So
Oh, wow.
markers to help species land. There's carvings, there's wording, wording that we won't understand, but other races will understand. It's like a communication spot where others meet up with one another.
Yeah.
Communication markers, you're going to find markings on it. You're going to find that others have been communicating through the planet itself by marking on the planet or leaving something behind.
Okay.
Dark side,
Any other structures on the dark side?
no, he says not like big towers, nothing like how we have houses on Earth.
What about those glass domes, giant glass domes that this person was asking about?
There's not giant glass domes.
Okay.
He says that there's structures of bases that have been created, but it's not like, like a desk that I'm looking at. This is going to be like almost like a metal, but it's not something that's going to be left there all the time when they take materials with them.
Oh, okay.
So structure has been there, but it's not there.
All right. Would it be beneficial for us to land on the moon? And on Mars? Would we get anything out of it?
It's happened already, he says.
Oh,
And
okay. Well, the rover, that's true. Somebody wants to know, is anybody cleaning those solar panels? They must be getting pretty dirty. Get a little Windex up there. No, multi-surface pledge. There we go. Clean those things.
nobody's cleaning the
Oh, that's not good. Okay.
information are we receiving?
Wait, I can't hear you very much.
No. Can you hear me now?
It's much lower for
Eric,
some reason.
Eric, stop.
Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay.
Blame it on Eric. Now, oh, you completely lost my train of thought. I hate when you do that. Okay, he's talking about how they don't clean the wipers on there, the type of information that they're gaining from the Mars rover, he says, is we're seeing the type of growth that the planet is having, the type of life, micro life, not actual
Yeah.
life,
Right.
and how the planet is starting to regain growth. It's starting to expand and starting to come back
Oh,
to
good. So it got kicked out, died hundreds of thousands of years ago, but now it's creeping back. Okay. I saw a picture one time of something on the light side of the moon. I can't remember if it kind of looks like a face or maybe it's a three pyramids. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Is there something there? Or is that just a kind of like, okay, that's the way the craters are, and juxtaposed to each other?
That's what he's showing me.
But this is on the light side, not the dark side I'm talking about.
He says
Uh-oh, could hardly hear you again. Erik!
why does it keep doing that? How's that?
There, that's better.
Okay, they're there. Not three of them, as you just now quoted, but he shows a pyramid shaped thing being there.
There's
It's
something else
not
that
like
looks like a face.
this building and enter it. Oh no, I've lost you.
Okay, I'll
Are you
take
there?
back. Yeah, I'm back.
Okay,
But
repeat your question.
what about that thing that looks like a face? If I'm remembering it correctly, but you never know about me.
Not a face. He's showing craters being
Okay.
into it.
Oh,
It's
I got you.
not a shape. There's quite a bit of the pyramid-looking things throughout the planet, both dark and light side. They're markers. It's more of guiding and directing races.
Okay. Now, so real quickly, somebody asked, just answer real briefly, because I do want to get into Mercury retrograde. What is the large metal mass under the moon's Aitken, Aitken Basin? The large metal mass.
He's showing it as being an opening for another life form to go into, like a race. It's been something that almost like a room has been cut into it. Not something that's or not something that's there naturally. It's been something there that's been put in from another race. So it's not natural to the planet.
Wow. What's it made from? What kind of metal is it? One that we have here on Earth?
No, it's not a material that's on Earth or even on the moon. It came from another planet.
Oh, okay. Why? Why did they need a hollow metal room under this basin?
He's showing there's things that are being stored there.
Life forms? Or what are they storing?
Stuff to make stuff from other planets, stuff from
Okay.
the moon. It's materials, things that will make weapons, things that will make not only weapons, but like housing opportunities, structures.
Okay. It sounds like a junk drawer. Everyone has one where they have some, like dust covered lifesavers and little screwdrivers that are broken and stuff. Yeah. Pieces of puzzles. Okay, what about the same person wants to know, what are the 4,000 foot towers, high towers in the Terra Meridiani region of Mars. Mars.
He's not acknowledging any towers being on Mars.
Is it just the landform?
Yes. Do you know
Okay.
the image of the egg falling?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that's what it's coming in
Just
from.
formed by cracks and yeah, okay. Let's see. Erik has said on the blog that we've colonized Mars before, and yeah, you said that. Which government did that? Russians, U.S., etc. And are there underground bases, surface bases?
It's not sustainable to hold the bases. They've
Oh
tried
yeah,
it. Have
yeah.
not been
Okay,
successful.
we'll go on.
He says the U.S. There's been quite a few U.S., Russian that have attempted.
Okay. What decade was this?
He shows current right now to starting with about 200 years ago with interest of going into it.
The interest was there, but they didn't have the ability to go there at that time, right?
But it's been something that's been acknowledged. He says right now there's current stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, his next question. Obviously, there are whistleblowers out there who know about the secret operations that have been conducted on the moon and Mars, and or even just what governments know about the Mars and moons in general. Oh, can you give us names of whistleblowers? I don't want to do that really. All right, let's talk about the effect of why is there this lunar cycle effect on humans, maybe ants and animals and stuff, like women and their cycles and all that. Why does is the lunar cycle so connected to life forms here? Uh-oh, you're getting low again.
They're carrying energy, and the energy that the planets carry,
Mm-hmm.
humans were sensitive to picking up that energy. Each planet has their own energy, just as a human does. Think of humans and our personalities. The personality of a planet is carrying its own personality. If you put a planet next to another planet that it does not like, you're going to combine conflict. You're going to get something that's unpleasant. He says, think of putting you in the room with somebody that you don't get along with. There's likely going to be some form of conflict that arises, whether it's through your own mind or through you actually verbalizing it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, personality.
Yeah. So the moon does affect our moods, emotions, and she says, or he says, some of us feel upbeat when it's visible, and others find themselves feeling like bad vibes. So can we be affected? Different people be affected differently by the moon's energy?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What the moon is doing, where it's falling for that individual, that's going more into like astrology.
Okay.
And figuring out where.
What about animals? Do they experience a change in their emotions, etc.?
Oh no, you froze. Come back, Lisa.
I'm here.
Okay, there you are. Cut out.
What about animals?
What was your question?
Well, what about both animals and vegetation? Can they be affected by the moon's energy?
More so than humans, yes.
Wow. What about vegetation? Those even more than animals, or?
Yes. He's have you ever heard the term when the moon comes out, the crazies come out?
Yeah.
Cool. It's a true statement because there's a lot of heavy energy animals pick up to change that's about to take place. What the moon does, certain parts of the moon, what it does is it brings change to you.
Yeah.
It brings a beginning and it also brings an ending to certain situations. That's why it's hard for people to deal with it.
Yeah. What about the new moon? How does it affect us, if at all? And then also, what about an eclipse?
A new moon brings new beginnings. And so what it does is it's going to bring a closure to something and a new beginning to something. New moons can be challenging for a lot of people because change isn't easy for most humans to go through. So a lot of times a new moon specifically will bring challenge.
Okay, just real brief answers on these two. All right, just this is the lightning round. Okay, what about an eclipse, lunar eclipse? Any effect? What kind of effect on humans?
A lunar eclipse is a time of great change and a little bit of an upheaval. Um, that type of energy.
Okay, what about supermoon?
A supermoon is simply a moon that's closer to the Earth.
Oh wait, I can barely hear you. Supermoon is what?
A moon that's closer to the Earth, it appears to be closer than
Okay,
energetically. What it does is it brings about more manifestation, like more, if you want something, it's going to manifest a lot quicker. Only be
awesome.
careful what you wish for.
All right, yeah. What about the blood moon?
It brings, it's a time of like growth, expansion, um, re-evaluating. The blood moon is also uh, he's showing like planting, it's growing, it's a time of like rebirth.
Okay, and then last, what about the harvest moon? Or is that, I don't, harvest moon?
He says
Is
that
that a thing?
we're harvesting the farmers.
Okay.
Harvesting. What are you harvesting? What have you been working all year for? Whatever your fruits of your labor is about to flourish. So
Oh, and that's it, not just for farmers. It's like whatever all of us are working on. And the blue moon, I think that's just the one that appears the second time in a month or something. Does that have any effect, or is it just a timing thing, a frequency thing?
now it's a frequency. It's actually not a pattern that it goes through. And what the blue moon does is it brings on like unexpected and sudden changes. Um,
Wow.
have you ever kind of heard that phrase, like in a blue moon, I'll do that?
Oh,
Well,
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so very briefly, let's talk about what we're going through now. Mercury is in retrograde.
it is. Mercury is in retrograde happening in the house of Leo. And it's also got a little bit of Mars. What you can experience with this specific retrograde is you needing to reevaluate the way that you're communicating. It can be very intense. It could be about liberation, freedoms. You can realize things are not working out. You can have to change things that are not working out for you. We just had this with a solar eclipse, and we're about to have a total lunar eclipse on the 16th. And it
Ooh,
brings about that time of great change. Leo can be very dominant, it's a very masculine energy. So we're finding people that are going to be aggressive. We're going to say something, we may say it aggressively and hurt people's feelings. So be careful the way that you're wording things, especially right now.
if you're a
Um,
Leo or anybody.
anybody,
Okay.
anybody, because it's happening in the house of, in the sign of Leo, not the house of Leo.
Ah,
Um, it happened, it entered shadow June 20th and it's exiting shadow on August 14th. You're really going to be feeling the effects of it until the 14th. August 1st, you might be feeling a little bit lighter because it's going direct. Um, expect the unexpected. So if you are kind of planning a trip to go somewhere, on that trip, expect unexpected things like a delay, maybe your seat not being available. It's going to cause like a lot of chaos for a lot of people because Leo is very forceful and very dominant.
mm.
So if you're traveling, expect delays.
Oh,
Plan it.
great. Okay, well, we're going to go on a camping trip. Uh, we're going to go to Colorado, work our way to Colorado with Arlene from the 24th of July to the 7th of August. We'll be home. So anything, I mean, my husband wanted me to ask if it's okay for me to ride bikes on the asphalt trails around there. So wondering, is she gonna break a hip? Because he knows how clumsy I am, but I don't feel it.
He's telling you to be careful with your imbalance. I am seeing a fall happening, but I'm not seeing it connecting to the bike.
Okay, well, I fall all the time, so. But nothing bad's going to happen on the trip. Because
Not
did on the last trip, so, you know, I need a break here. I need a real vacation.
laughing. Yeah, no hospital stays, no broken bones.
Good.
He says that you guys are going to be communicating in a different way.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, anything else you want to add, Erik or Raylene?
No, ma'am. Erik says everybody enjoy the energy that's going around. Yous are not all off of your rockers. This is going to end very soon. August 14th, that's going to be when everybody can put their happy pants back on.
Happy pants back on. All right, thank you. I love you, Erik. I love you, Raylene. You guys get in touch with her at angelmedium7.com, which I will put right here. I love you all, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Bye.
Thank you. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.